let's talk Manchester United. And Jose, I know there are certain areas we can go and certain areas we can't right now. You've said already that you don't think we should count them out in terms of the title race. So what should Manchester United view, do you think, as a successful season?
As a start, winning the Europa League. I think a club of this dimension, with this potential, with this history, when you go to a competition that doesn't belong to you, doesn't belong to your history, you never played UEFA Cup with Manchester United. I think when you go to a competition like that, you have to win, yes or yes. And then in the Premier League, obviously, the dressing room must feel they can win the title. They must feel it. If they don't feel it, they are in trouble. They must feel it. But I think to finish a top 4 would be a good achievement for them.
Did you feel last season that you could win the title?
Last season?
Yeah. Did you feel you could win the title?
No. When I told that the second position in the previous season was one of my biggest achievements in football, I was not having fun with the words. I was just telling you what I was feeling. The season when I finished second was good, so I didn't feel that last season we did enough in the transfer market and to allow us to compete for the first position. Also because we finished second, but the distance to the first was very considerable. So I don't think this season they can, but obviously I hope they feel they can, because that will be an important motivational push for them.
I wonder if they will feel, Gary, and I know the Manchester United fans have been concerned that they haven't done enough. When you consider 3 have come in and 3 have gone out, and I think we've got the graphic to show that as well. You talked last season about the dressing room being cleansed and this being a reset. So when we look at that, Lukaku, Herrera, Valencia gone, was that what you were talking about?
Not really. I was talking about if players don't want to be at the club, then what's the point in keeping them? Now, the problem is Lukaku, Pogba, Martial, De Gea, they're the best players. So you can't probably get rid of them all at once. So I think you have to do it over a period of maybe 3 or 4 transfer windows. Lukaku's left already. I actually think Lukaku's a good player. But I just don't think he wanted to be here. I don't think it suited Ollie either, probably. Herrera did work hard for the club, to be fair to him. He always looked like he gave his all every single match. You could never look at him and say that he didn't give his all. Whether he was the highest quality of player or not is another matter. But I think Manchester United have struggled to get the players that they want. Not just Manchester United, actually. I think every club is struggling to get the players that they want. Players, Zaha. Everton couldn't get Zaha out of Crystal Palace for 70 million. Because clubs now are reluctant to lose the players. Every club in the Premier League now is getting a lot more money, so they can resist it. So Manchester United are struggling a little bit to get the players that they want, just generally.
Is it a mistake, though, not to do something, not to replace Lukaku in some way?
I don't think they could. I think they probably tried. I think they tried and they probably couldn't get the players they wanted. Either the players didn't want to come, or the players were too much, or the clubs didn't want to let them go. But I think Manchester United would have tried to get a striker. But if the player doesn't want to come, they can't get Harry Kane out of Tottenham. It's impossible. 20 years ago, Manchester United would have bought the best player in the Premier League every year. Keane, Robson, Ince, Pallister, Rooney, Ferdinand. They can't do that anymore. They can't bully these other clubs with money. They've got money themselves. The bottom club gets 100 million. They used to be able to bully clubs. Now they can't, because they would have got Harry Kane a year or 2 ago.
Let's bring Jose in on that. Is it hard to attract players to come to Manchester United?
No, he's totally right. He's totally right. The big clubs, they used to go to the smaller clubs and just do it. In Portugal, we still can do it. The big clubs, they go to the smaller clubs, and it's possible to do it. You know, the TV rights is something incredible. And in Portugal, for example, we are the only country in Europe where the image rights, the TV rights are not centralized in the league. Every club has its own deal. So we have the club that gets 70 million, and we have the club that gets 5 million. The club that gets 5 million a year has no chance to keep their players and to say no to Benfica, Porto or Sporting. Nowadays in the Premier League, obviously, is much more complicated.
Would you have been?
Sky's fault, isn't it?
Of course. Would you have been tempted to get rid of a few more, try and force a few more out of the door, Graeme?
Oh, it's easy. It's easy to say who you want out the door. Attracting them and landing them's a bigger problem. Everyone knows that Man United are under pressure. Man United historically, before TV money, always paid a premium. The rich club, and that's just been compounded now, given their predicament. I think it is a mistake not to even. I understand you want another striker, Lukaku goals, and I think you'd have your top 3 targets. If you can't get any of them, do you keep your powder dry or do you go again? I think in their situation, I think they might have to have gone for maybe 3rd or 4th best, because Rashford is going to be a player. But at 21, last year he was being asked to be the main man at Man United. He'll be asked to do the same again today. You're talking about bringing 17 and 18-year-olds to come in and do a job on a regular basis for Man United. I think young players, I think that's very, very difficult. It's Man United we're talking about. Man United should be able to
I don't think they'll
get
do that,
something
Graeme.
better than what they've
they
got
won't do
up
that
front
anymore.
right now.
They ended up with that one summer that Falcao signed, and then it cost them a lot of money. And then I don't think they'll do that anymore. Go for 4th best. I think they'll try. I think they'd rather not do it
In
than
the ideal
actually.
world, you don't do that. But do you think it's fair, in your time here as a player, would Rashford have played every week on a regular basis?
No, he wouldn't.
Well, that's the point I'm making. He wouldn't have played every week. He'd been coming into a team that was firing on all cylinders, doing well, winning trophies, and being slowly introduced. And I think it's really unfair on him at 21 or 20 last year, being asked to be the main man.
Well, they're asking Martial to stand up. They're asking Martial to step up.
But the reality is, from this moment on, with the transfer window gone, they are asking Rashford at 21 to be the main striker at this football club. He got 10 goals, I think, from 33 games last year. That's not enough for United. All the pressure's on his young shoulders.